Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls! Yay, Dark Souls! Whoa, Dark Souls 2! Whoa! Whoa! Anyway, so as you can see, I actually made a new Sweetie Belle. This one with white skin and green eyes. And who is not actually dead yet. Not going to take the death counter, take that last death off the death counter because that was me legitimately dying in a legitimately incredibly stupid way. But yes, I remade the character and redid basically every single thing almost exactly as I did last time to make sure that it's more or less the same character. Just want to, fix those minor facial details. And since I was so early in the game still, I was like, okay, whatever. It'll take me like at most 20 minutes, half an hour to go back and get back to where I was before. So we're back! We're going to do the Valley, Forest of Fallen Giants, and then I actually have a plan to take a slightly more difficult route through the game in order to more quickly get to the Covenant of the Way of Sunlight. Hey, look at that, summon sign. Really, really early summon sign, honestly. Okay, so that's the safe way. But as I've clearly demonstrated, I am no proponent of the safe way. Anyway, I want to join the Covenant of the Way of Sunlight as quickly as possible because that will allow me to praise the sun! Also allow me to get my hands on the Sunlight Spear Miracle, which is sort of the best... Oh my god, that was way too close. The best miracle in the game, like the best combat miracle in the game for like just about every normal combat encounter. So I want to get that, obviously, because it's super good. Have my computer set up in a really weird way in order to try and reduce the amount of background sound that you guys will have to hear. So forgive me if I'm a little bit strange in the way that I have to kind of like move around occasionally, and so my character will occasionally kind of jerk and jitter as I try and not rip out a shitload of wires while recording. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So, the Forest of Fallen Giants is a significantly easier area than the Heide's Tower of Flame. There are some pretty nasty bits in it, but the Heide's Tower is unbelievably worse. Like, the enemies are way tougher. They are, no, the boss is, I'd say that both the Dragon Rider and definitely the old Dragon Slayer are both significantly nastier enemies than the last giant. And these guys are just pathetic. However, oh, whoa, that was close. However, I'm doing this area because there are... Ow. Oh, that was stupid of me. There are things in this area that I need to pick up. Well, I don't need to pick them up, but I want to get them before I go ahead and face the Dragon Rider and move on towards trying to get to the Covenant of Sunlight. Like, oh my god. I am screwing up my timings. And, ooh. Anyway, one of those things, not the least of which... Sorry, that was what I was talking about before, about not trying to, like, being able to get out everything. Okay. Okay. So anyway, what was I saying? Right. One of those things is the ability to allow myself to be summoned to other worlds to assist people in fighting bosses, because that is a really good way of not only getting a lot of extra souls, but also in it's also a really good way to get your humanity back and kind of take a practice run on a boss before you go in for help. It's also, I don't think you actually need it in order to actually call for help, but you might. And I like calling for help on bosses. I actually can take most of them without assistance, but okay, that was just bad playing on my part. I've been doing a run recently where I've been taking care of pretty much all the bosses without any sort of assistance, except for like occasional ones like the Three Kings, who are really, really unpleasant to fight without assistance. Anyway, especially since I'm planning on going for the Way of Sunlight, though, Flowers of the Way of Sunlight, we're all about co-op. Ow! God damn it! Oh my god. I really want to get back into the mode of playing... Well, jeez Louise, I am just soaking damage right now. I want to get back into the practice of playing the game in such a way where I am playing with other people. Because that is what the whole praise of something is all about. So... this area can kill you super hard. What, kill him quickly because it's super... I've died so many times on the staircase. Like, almost every single first death I've had on a run in the Forest of Fallen Giants is I accidentally aggro both of those guys, then get in a position where I can't hit them, and die. So, I'm actually kind of happy I took care of that whole little nasty bit as easily as I did. Especially considering the fact that I don't have a shield. Yeah, fuck you! Haha! So sometimes I'm hitting enemies and killing them instantly, and sometimes I'm hitting basically the same enemy, but only doing most of their health and damage. And the reason for that, the Silver Awesome is going to be useful, the other sword I don't really see myself using. Anyway, the reason for that is that there is a location damage system in this game. Basically, where you hit an enemy with any given weapon... did I get the... Yeah, I did. I'm going crazy. Affects how much damage you actually do to them. So hitting someone with like the haft of the mace does very, very little, but hitting, well, comparatively. And if you only hit them with like kind of part of the head of the mace, it's like, it's not great damage. If you can hit them right in the head, like right with the head of the mace, oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. Okay, so there's two ways I can handle this. That guy right there has something I want. He has a really good cleric sword, but I can't really use it right now effectively. It's I'm doing like I'm planning on doing like a dex build, and there's a guy there's another guy like him who has another really good cleric sword a little bit later on. Well, not really a little bit later on, but a little ways down the road. Who I want much more, and fighting him is a really... Oh, wow, I'm screwing on my timings like I'm a first-timer. Anyway, fighting him is a really, really, really good way of getting yourself killed, so I'm kind of thinking I'm not going to fight him, at least not right now. I might wait till I get some form of ranged attack, because he's a toughie to beat without ranged attack. So yeah, see there, I kind of chipped him down for half his health in one hit, and then the rest with the other hit. Whereas with some of those guys... Oh. Ooh, you jerk. Oh, that was just bad. Oh, that was painful. Okay, so basically I got two types of swings at any given time. I can two-hand swing, like a big heavy-handed swing, or I can do a lighter swing, which is much faster. Also, there are different types of attacks with every single weapon for light attack, heavy attack, and light attack and heavy attack when using one hand or two hands. It's actually pretty impressive how much depth there is to every single one of these weapons. Really, like, it's been said before, and it's totally true, that in Dark Souls, your class has a lot less to do with your actual playstyle than the weapon that you decide to end up playing with. What type of weapon you end up using. Because every single one of the weapons works so distinctly in its attack pattern that kind of learning the ins and outs of your weapon is far more important than getting like your strength up or getting the plus 10 like super greatsword mace. Like by the end of the game, a fully leveled up level 10 starting weapon, this mace, if I leveled up to level 10, would be fairly comparable to another weapon of its same category of like a super boss variant. Because, yeah, like it'll become basically as strong, maybe not quite as strong, but it'll become almost as strong, and if I just like the attack pattern of this one better, I could totally end up using this mace all the way through. Now, I'm not going to, because as I said, I want to do a dex-based spear build. Oops, I should not have dodged there. So I'm going to not really be using a mace a lot, because a mace is a super heavy weapon, super heavy strength-based weapon, but if I was like, with my original build where I played through the whole game, I used this mace for most of the game. So this lady's the first merchant you kind of run into. It's kind of creepy. The merchants in the game all buy items using souls. Just like you use souls to level up and all this stuff. And again, souls are tied to your humanity. And humanity is a big part of the both the game itself, like the systems in the game, and kind of the story themes of the game. So what I'm going to do here is I bought that key, which is going to let me open up the blacksmith's workshop, which will allow me to upgrade this weapon, which will be useful. As I said, these weapons become very, very strong if you upgrade them. Even the core ones. So this is, yeah, the Merchant Melentia. And she's a almost hollowed out old woman. Basically everyone you meet is kind of crazy. Yeah, so we'll be finding a lot more about the giants as we go on, but suffice to say they were a large army that came across the ocean to attack the kingdom of Dranlaic while it was at its prime. And the reason for that was that the king of Dranlaic, whose name eludes me right now, but I think King Vendrick, stole something from them. Don't know what it is, but he stole something important to them. Possibly the great souls that are now held by the bosses. But whatever he stole, it pissed them off enough that they basically came, their entire race crossed the sea just to fight with Dranlaic, and that war resulted in the deaths of not only the giants, but also pretty much doomed Dranlaic. Like, everyone here is now dead or a hollow or a monster, and the war with the giants is where that all really started. Anyway, so I kept on talking to her because eventually she will... Yeah, it's high time I pick up and move. Eventually she will move... next time I rest this bonfire here, she's going to disappear. And the reason for that is she's going to Majula. Okay, she hasn't left yet. I had to kill the boss of the area first, I guess. But she's going to go to Majula, and most of the merchants, and like most of the people who sell stuff that I'm going to meet along my journey, if you talk to them for a while, they will go to Majula. Well, Majula will become your go-to town to just deal with all your business, which is a huge change from Dark Souls 1, where in the, it was like, not Lamplight, it's Firelink Shrine, which is basically the same sort of deal. People would go there, but they just sort of kind of come in and then leave again as their own personal journeys continued. And more often than not, they'd end up dying as they, as their stories concluded. Yeah, okay, so I've still got enough strength to actually wield this maze properly. So I'm going through here, he's going to wake up. Yes, that's a trick. It's real damn easy to get killed by this asshole. Because he will sneak right up on you. Anyway, in Dark Souls 1, they, more often than not, the people you meet, even the people you helped, would eventually hollow out and go crazy or die. So, Firelink Shrine, while it was kind of the hub of life, it also was this place, this very transitional place where, people would come in and eventually leave, and no one really stayed forever because eventually they'd just, hollow out and go away. And that was a big kind of theme in Dark Souls 1, was that everything is... you're not even really necessarily the hero. Like, you're the hero who's solving all of... Oh, wow, I did get that. That was kind of lucky. I almost missed that item. You're not the... In Dark Souls 1, you were the hero who was relighting the flame, the first flame, or possibly, if you were following the other alternate path, the guy bringing about the end of the Age of Light and possibly becoming the new Lord of Darkness, which isn't actually as evil as it sounds. But you weren't really the hero. The heroes all came before you, and you were now just kind of coming through and finishing the last chapter in the stories of these heroes. And likewise, all the people you met... God, I am just playing horribly today. All the people you met were the people, these heroes who were basically at the end of their own journeys. The Onion Knight, he's a grand adventurer, but he either dies on his quest or you keep on saving him from dying, eventually proving to him that really he's not really a great hero after all, or at least he's a great hero whose time has ended and he now just has to be constantly saved, and he eventually falls into depression and dies. And there's the guy who, like the kind of suicidal guy who, has seen everything the world has, had to offer and all the horrible things that have happened to it. And his, time with you is at the end of his life as he finally makes the decision to take the plunge and finish himself off. And, like, the only person who really isn't just this horribly depressed dude who's doomed is Solaire, the whole Praise the Sun guy. And even he's basically doomed. Like, more often than not, unless you know what you're doing, Solaire's story goes that he's looking for, a way to restore the sun, or to bring, create his own sun, and, rekindle the world, the light of the world. And for most people, his story will end when he's tricked by a parasite which grows on your head and, sort of looks like a sun. That kind of looks like a sunlight. And he goes nuts and dies, having believed that he found a sun, which he never actually did. Not really. However, what makes him slightly unique is that there is a way that, unlike with most of the other characters in Dark Souls 1, there is a way for Solaire to, for you to save Solaire, and if you do so, he will actually eventually sacrifice himself to rekindle the first flame and bring light back to the world. So he still dies, but he actually dies like a true hero at the accomplishing the thing that he always wanted to do, which, puts him leagues above most of the other people who just are miserable. Miserable people. Slayer is also probably like the least dickish, least depressed and miserable person in the first game, which is part of why he became so popular. Because he's like the one pardon the light pun, but he's like the one ray of light in the Dark Souls. There's no way of not making that a horrible pun about the game's name, but yeah, he's a ray of light in the darkness, and the one decent human being who just seems to actually really care for you for no other reason than just he's a decent guy. I like Solaire a lot. Everyone likes Solaire a lot. There's a reason that even though they couldn't bring him back for this game properly, obviously, he still gets to, be immortalized with his own covenant. Okay. Ah! Haha! You sons of bitches! Fuck you! Anyway, the old lady sells a healing spell, which I actually do have a healing spell in my power. I should remember to use that, because it's a useful way of regaining health without having to use an item. I might pick that one up, but as I said, I really want... At this point, I want to save most of my souls. Oh, that was terrible. I hate it when that guy doesn't get killed by that thing, because then I have to fight all these assholes without any sort of... without getting at least the break of having them accidentally killing their buddy. Ah! Fuck you! Anyway. So this fine gentleman right here is mild-mannered Pate. And we're gonna get to him in just a second. As soon as... I don't know! Fuck. Well, that's Dark Souls. That was my fault. I did that badly. Alright. Round 2. Roll, roll, roll. Roll, roll, roll. Okay, let him come in. So I started by leveling up my decks. I'm realizing now that was probably a mistake. Not because it's bad, but because as soon as I fight the Dragon Rider, the boss of the area that I was doing in part 1. Oh, I hate when these guys do this. Oh, balls. Okay, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Anyway, as soon as I killed the Dragon Rider, there's a woman who you meet immediately after dealing with, after you beat that boss. Nope, he's gonna come back. No, are you? Are you gonna come back up? Ow. Anyway, and this woman sells miracles. I'm trying to do a kick, and I literally forgot how to do the kick. Or this is not a kick anymore. They changed that since in Dark Souls 1 was a kick, and now it's a shield bash. Ooh. Oh! Oh! Well, that was a drop. Huh. Alright, I'm nowhere near enough dex to actually use that yet, but ooh. But that would be my first spear. And way earlier than I expected to get it. So now I have to make the difficult choice of, do I want to get my faith up to the point where I can use the incredibly powerful miracles that I'll be getting as soon as I beat the Dragon Rider, or do I want to first prioritize being able to use that spear? Yeah. Hear this guy again? Oh, fuck you! Anyway, or do I want to prioritize being able to use that spear first? Because being able to use that spear would kind of allow me to take on these sorts of fights without having to worry about getting murdered. Oh, you fucker. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me! How is this... How am I having so much trouble with the... Why can't I run? B button. Okay. No! 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 Oh, fuck you! I hit the wrong goddamn button! I didn't cast the healing miracle. Oh my god, that was so dumb. That was... Fuck. Okay, I'm definitely going to need to get, like, the spear first, because this is embarrassing. I am not doing well with this mace. I need... Oh my god. Just... Jeez. Oh my god. You bastards. No! There! Okay. And you're wondering why I keep on triggering that area, which is actually pretty optional. And the reason for that is I want... there's an item in there that I want. In fact, there's a couple of items in there I want. A couple of items in there that I don't give a shit about, but... Come on, hit him! You didn't hit him. You useless sons of bitches. Okay, there's one. Ow! That's not two. Ha! Fuck you! I escape. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. Miracles as a cleric, they come in mostly two forms. Helpful things like healing spells, which both heal me and heal anyone I'm helping, which is part of why cleric is considered such a good PvE co-op build, and why the Covenant of Sunlight gives you a lot of really good rewards for clerics, is that... I lost my train of thought. Is because their healing spells make them extremely useful allies, and make them extremely good at helping their allies when allies help them out. So I need a Ferrous Logstone in order to get the crap poison. That's poison. Some of these traps do have are trapped, of course. All right, so that door's locked, and I can't bust it open. So, meh. There's a really alright, the Titanite shard is good. There's a couple of really good items in there, so I might eventually just go back and buy a Ferrous Logstone so I can get everything in there, because goodness, those items are good. In fact, actually, I'm tempted to... Nope, let's see, I came up... Oh my, that was dumb. I was going to use the spell again. I keep on forgetting what button spells. Alright, come at me, assholes. Anyway, the items in that thing are really good, and I kind of want them. I'm trying to lure out this guy so that he'll get pissed and come at me. There he goes. So, this is taking on a fight that's kind of ridiculous, because this dude, he's a big motherfucker. But he drops a fair number of souls, and I want to buy that Ferrous Logstone. Ooh, there's a little tiny bit of lag there. That was a bad time for a tiny bit of lag to happen. I'm going to use a couple of items, because this guy deserves them. He's special. Whoa! Oh, fuck you, man. Oh, wow, I was about to say, like, luckily I know this guy's pattern. And then I totally forgot that he had another swing on that attack. And he's dead. And he dropped nothing. He sometimes drops really good items. He didn't this time. La suck. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest at the bonfire before I talk to Pate, because I want Pate to... I'm going to do a thing that's going to get me that white stone soap. Fuck it, whatever. The thing that lets me summon people, lets me, oh, fuck, oh my god, I'm so dumb. God damn it. I was about to say I'm not going to rest at the bonfire, because that'll respawn all the enemies, and I want to just buy a Ferrous Logstone, then I couldn't afford it anyway. Whatever. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. I'll just do this stupid Pate thing. Fuck you, guys. Upside is, unless I want to go back there for that item, for those really good items, which I don't actually need to get right now, I don't actually need to go in there. I don't need to trigger those people. So, that's what I'm going to not do.
All alone in these treacherous times.
So, Pate's interesting. He is...
You have a very good reason.
He's a real-life comedian who is a fan of Dark Souls, Dark Souls 1. And asked to be in the game in any sort of way. He was just like, I'll take any role, whatever. And so they gave him the role of mild-mannered Pate.
Be careful out there.
Who is just this... He gets you the white stone soapstone, and is the when you face the last giant, who is generally the first boss most people fight, you can summon Pate as an ally to assist you if you're human. Like, without even having to call on another human player, you can just get Pate to assist you. And he has an interesting storyline where, like, he's fairly friendly, but you meet another guy later on who claims that Pate betrayed him and tried to get him killed. And there's a whole side quest thing you can do with the two of them where you try and figure out which one... Like, there's no... As far as I can tell, there's no definite answer as to, like, which one of them is telling the truth. Because Pate basically says, no, that guy's an asshole, you should murder him. And the guy's like, no, like, Pate's an asshole, you should murder him. I don't think there's ever a defined, clear answer as to which one of them is telling the truth and which one of them is trying to manipulate you. So it's this thing with Pate where it's entirely possible that he is a manipulative bastard who is, like, a manipulative, murderous bastard who's, you know, trying to trick people into, getting killed, and who will, yeah, and, who tries to escape, his just retributions from one of his victims by getting you to side with him. Or maybe he's just a legitimately nice dude. Nice, if somewhat awkward dude who is, maybe a little sketchy, but more or less on the up and up and willing to help you in, the exact, and by the way, like, oh, yeah, that's definitely lag, in much the same way that, Solaire, did in the first game. Because Solaire in the first game is the one who gives you the white stone soapstone, the fucking summon sign. Anyway, Solaire does that for you for free. You just have to talk to him and, you know, listen to his slightly odd ramblings about the sun, about praising the sun and the gross incandescence of the delightfully gross incandescence of the sun's healing rays and all that weird stuff that makes Solaire so awesome. Whereas Pate makes you run this weird dungeon thing by basically saying, like, oh, by the way, there's some cool treasures up here, but be careful, it's a trap, it's gonna super suck. And then you do it, and if you survive, he's like, oh, you lived. Well, you know, good on you. Here, take this this cool stone, and call me for help if you need it. So again, he's helpful, and he's kind of one of the first people you meet who, you know, seems to have at least some degree of respect for you. But it's also entirely possible, like, there's absolutely nothing saying that he isn't just manipulating you for his to his own ends.
Managed to escape.
Yeah, see?
I hope that brave warrior didn't come a cropper either. Be careful out there. There's talk of unsavory bandits who prey upon travelers like yourself.
That might be a reference to the guy who has it out for Pate.
Oh. But you should take this.
Yeah, see, you hear him, you know, he's kind of got this
Allows
weird
undead
thing
to call out for help to one another across the
where he seems really
between
friendly, but that
worlds.
voice,
With luck, somebody will lend you a hand.
he just seems a little bit off. You're not entirely sure how on the level he's being with you, because he's just a little weird, a little creepy. So I'm gonna kind of go through here and get my Estus flask back, and I'm actually going to take this opportunity to return to Majula. And I got an Estus flask shard, which will allow me to get another use out of my Estus flasks, which, as you've seen, I use those things quite frequently, so I want to get that.
Isn't it to see light, however faint?
Yeah, so I can upgrade my Estus flask from her. But yeah, when Pate's saying, like, hopefully someone will help you, he's both talking about the multiplayer and also, again, making an oblique reference to the fact that he will assist you when you get to the boss. Okay, so I need 21 faith in order to cast Lightning Spear. I need 18 dex in order to use the Wingtip Spear. Lightning Spear is a very, very powerful spell, but it has very limited uses and is primarily a boss killer. The Wingtip Spear will help me on just about every enemy up to the boss, but once I get to the boss, as I said, I'm going to be Cleric, I'm going to be focusing on Lightning. For now, I'm going to continue focusing on upgrading my dex so I can use that spear, because, again, I really just want to use that spear. You know, that's a thing I want to do. Actually, I think I might now have enough that I can actually two-hand the spear. It's 18, yeah, it's B scale, so this has an E scaling on dex, a B scaling on strength. The spear is the opposite, it's an E scale on strength, but a B scale on dex. Yeah, so I can't use the item proficiently right now. And no, I can't even two-hand it right yet. But I want to see what this... so the spear's attack patterns are... You gotta get a nice forward stab, and a really big forward stab as the heavy attack. Now, if I was one-handing this and I had a shield in my offhand, pretty similar. Yeah, okay, basically the same. The wingtip spear is not a particularly fancy weapon, it would appear. But, as I said, it works well for what I want to do. A heavy dex build with a lot of emphasis on more rolling to avoid attacks than actually going hands down, fisticuffs, beating up motherfuckers. America. Trying to remember where the hell I need to go. Okay, so I think I need to do is... What I want to do is go down here. So I can actually fight a boss up there called the Pursuer. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I can... Ooh, okay. Actually, you know what? No, I'm in no position to fight the Pursuer. I was going to say, you know what I could do is I could leave a summon sign and offer to help people fight the Pursuer. But it's like, you know what? That would probably not really work out super well. I probably don't have enough juice right now to be a particularly good ally to fight the Pursuer. And I don't like putting down my summon sign if I'm just going to die and waste my time and get, like, no souls out of it. So, let's not do that. Let's instead go in here. I don't actually need to go in here yet. What I really need to do is go past that big guy. And that'll allow me to unlock a alternate route. So this, I'm not actually going to do anything with this yet. Interestingly enough, this is a giant. This is a giant who has turned into a tree. There are, like, I think 4 of them around Dran Lake, and near the end of the game, I'm going to have to come back here and do something with that giant. Because that giant is the portal, or rather the memories that corpse of a giant has locked away in its rotted, decrepit brain. Hold the key to returning through time to the Siege of Dran Lake, and that is a super late game, like almost end game part of this game is dealing with the final like the war with the giants. I forgot how many of these guys there were in here. But yeah, it's cool. Like, this game doesn't do it quite as much as the original Dark Souls did, but there's definitely this Metroidvania kind of thing where you are backtracking a lot to return to areas that you had previously traversed, but now for new reasons. So I'm probably going to use a spell. There you go. So that's cool. I should have been doing that a lot more, but I didn't, because I'm done. And Mailbreaker and the Inventory Helm. Don't really need either one of those. The Inventory Helm is probably actually not bad, but it's not something I super need, and I kind of... oh, okay, I don't need to kill the Turtle Knight. No, never mind. I thought I only needed to kill him once. I was wrong. Anyway, the Inventory Helm is good, but I don't really need the extra... Oh, shit. When I'm not playing horribly badly, I don't really need the slight edge it gives me to my armor that would justify not being able to see my character's face. I mean, this is the Sweetie Belle run. Making a character a joke character design and then covering up the head immediately would sort of defeat the entire purpose of doing a joke character design. So let's not do that. Let's instead, man up and play hardcore mode with almost no armor and a super silly character design that is not optimized or, like, good at all. Oh my god, wow, that was pathetic. I'm gonna use my Acid Flask up right now because, like, I'm actually... the reason I'm facing these guys... Oof, you suck. Is, that they are guarding the entrance to a route they'll actually open up a shortcut back to that bonfire. And that's a lot of, like, these areas as well as... you're kind of... Burp, sorry. You're opening up... traveling around the world and finding shortcuts to get back to the few bonfires that are in each location. And that way, while you can fast travel between bonfires, but more importantly than fast traveling between the bonfires is yeah. See, if I just charged him up there, this guy would have killed me. This guy would have come up behind me and made my life miserable. But I knew he was there. Anyway, a lot of the game, like, you have fast travel, you can fast travel between bonfires, but a big part of the game's progression isn't in getting to, like, checkpoints. It's in getting to places where you can then jump back to a previous location, not through, like, fast travel, but just by kind of learning the map. So the halberd is amazing. I love the halberd, but I don't want to go up 20 strength and 14 dex just to use it. It's amazing. It's not quite that amazing. Still good though. Okay, and I'm basically right to where the bonfires. I'm gonna chug this because I'm going after this thing. Ha! Fuck you. So this drops a Titanite shard, and Titanite is what you use to upgrade your stuff. I'm going to save my Titanite for now because the thing I want to upgrade, because I'm going to be ditching this mace as soon as I have the requisite stats for the spear. And what I picked up there is a shield, which I'm going to be using as soon as I can actually wield a weapon in one hand and a shield in the other. And this right here is the route that will take me down to the last giant boss. And that door brings me right to the bonfire. Clever, eh? Ow. Ow. Before I do that, though, I want to... Fuck you, is what I want to do. Ow. Oh, text from front. I will deal with that in a moment. Okay, and then up the thing. Scooby-Doo! Up the ladder I go. That's the way we do it, baby, yeah. And then I recover. So I think next week, next video, which will not be next week, I intend to actually try and get another video out this week. I've been kind of, I wanted to play more Dark Souls too, for this Let's Play, even earlier than I have been, but I just sort of haven't had the time. But I'm going to try and get these out a little bit more frequently. But in the next video, we will face the last giant. I was hoping to get my dex up to the point where I can actually use the spear before I face the last giant, but, well, whatever. What I'll do first is I will begin by laying down a summon sign and assisting someone else in defeating the giant to restore my humanity, which might also give me, which will give me some souls as well. Then I'll use my new humanity to call in friends, to call in like an online rando person, and mild-mannered Pate, and together we will destroy the last giant together, and that should get me enough souls that I can then go upgrade my dex, be able to use the spear, return to the Heide's Tower of Flame, kill the last dragon rider, and then get myself the Soul Spear spell, and by talking to the woman who sells that spell, she will open a pathway which will lead me into the area that then leads to the area where I can join the Covenant of Sunlight, which will allow me to praise the sun! That's not at all a convoluted plan. Not at all. I'll see you guys next time.